The roommate of a man beaten to death with a frying pan recalls watching the horrifying ordeal. Then a judge decides whether to send the accused to trial.
Once a teacher, now a convicted sexual predator. The alert a local teacher gave the district about his behavior nearly a year before his arrest. A man who has watched his roommate be beaten to death with a frying pan in the East County called the attack relentless. 26-year-old Brad Payton is charged with the murder at an independent living facility.
Our 10 News reporter Jennifer Dela Cruz was in that courtroom today. And Jen, for the first time, we're learning what led up to that brutal attack.
Yeah, Steve, well, Jesse LaFall took the stand describing in details the moments he watched his roommate get beaten with a frying pan. He says the victim never had a chance to fight back. In a county jail uniform, Brad Payton relived the night that put him behind bars, taking notes, even smirking at one point. The 26-year-old charged with beating Matthew McCarthy to death with a frying pan. McCarthy's roommate watching in horror.
Matt was sitting on the bed and Brad shot you, and I think he knocked you unconscious.
The men were staying at an independent living facility in El Cajon when the attack happened in December. After the initial blow, the witness says Payton grabbed a frying pan from the kitchen and showed no mercy.
I said, Brad, don't kill him. He hit Matt on the head about 8 times altogether.
One of the responding officers from that night talked to Payton just moments later.
He said, I didn't mean to do it. I asked him what it was he didn't mean to do, and he said, I didn't want to hurt him.
The crime scene still vivid in his memory.
I could see a little bit of blood on the wall, and as I got closer, I saw that he had severe trauma to his face and was bleeding profusely from his head and face.
Detectives recounting similar conversations with the accused murderer.
He said that he wanted to make sure that Matthew was dead.
Back in spring, 10 News dug deeper into the living facility on Naranca Avenue. Police records show trouble inside its walls, residents breaking things, yelling, even physical threats with a knife, some placed on psychiatric hold. The night of McCarthy's death just adding to the chaos. Payton is charged with second-degree murder and vandalism for breaking a window at the county jail. He's still behind bars on $2 million bail. And today, the judge did determine there is enough evidence to move forward with a trial. Payton is due back in court October 17th. Reporting live from El Cajon, Jennifer Dela Cruz, 10 News.
During our investigation into that El Cajon group home, we also learned that the home is not licensed by the state, and because it's not, there is no oversight. Police were called to that home nearly 80 times in the months leading up to the attack. El Cajon officials told us there are state laws that protect these homes, which can leave cities powerless to crack down on them.
I'm Derek Stahl in the 10 News Live Center with breaking news. Firefighters are responding to a brush fire in Solana Beach. Take a look. Quite a bit of smoke right now in the Solana Beach area. This is burning west of the 5 over near Homewood and Canyon Place. Approximate address is about 600 Canyon Place. There are some homes nearby, but it's unclear at this point if any homes are technically considered threatened at this point. A lot of smoke, certainly. If we come back into the live center here, I want to show you exactly where this is happening. Just west of the 5, we're going to zoom in, and you can see the fire is sort of burning in this hilly brush area. A lot of homes there not too far. So we're going to continue to monitor this one and bring you updates here in the live center. For now, I'm Derek Stahl, 10 News.
Yeah, potentially could affect so many people. Thank you, Derek. In less than an hour, Democratic presidential candidate Elizabeth Warren is scheduled to hold a town hall at Waterfront Park downtown. 10 News reporter Anthony Pura has been there since the doors opened. He's joining us now live. Anthony, thousands of people have turned out so far.
That's right. Thousands of people are here to see Elizabeth Warren at her forum here at Waterfront Park. You can see that thousands of people here, a lot of them have taken their spots on the grass, that they have brought their chairs and their blankets. Let me walk you around here so that you get a better idea of just how big these crowds are. They're here to see the Massachusetts senator. Some of their supporters hope that tonight she talks about issues like health care, climate change. Someone even told me that they hope that she talks about an immigration plan. Obviously, that's a hot issue here as we're a border town. Now, Warren has been steadily rising among the field of candidates vying for the Democratic presidential nomination, and her supporters say that's because she's the most in touch with people. They say she's most in touch with working families and the middle class. Now, we're expecting to see Elizabeth Warren here in about an hour to address her supporters. That's going to happen around 7 o'clock. We'll check back with you then. In the meantime, we're going to make our way through these crowds of people. We're reporting live at Waterfront Park. Anthony Pura, 10 News.
Anthony, thank you. A 17-year-old boy is out of the hospital tonight after getting hit during a drive-by shooting in Linda Vista. The shooting happened around 12:30 at Morley and Ulrich near Montgomery Middle School. The boy was walking with a 16-year-old girl and was only grazed. Witnesses say they were shielded by a parked car. Neighbors say there have been several shootings in the area in the last few months. At this point, San Diego police don't know if this is gang related. They are looking for a silver Lexus or Toyota.
2 years after the Las Vegas massacre, the thousands of victims are finally settling with the parent company of Mandalay Bay for $800 million. As many as 4,500 plaintiffs could be splitting that money. A judge and mediators will decide how much each person receives. It all depends on their injuries. And those who have physical injuries requiring medical procedures that keep them out of work will receive more money. Chelsea Romo, a single mother from Temecula, lost one of her eyes in the shooting and suffered long-term damage to the other. She hasn't been able to work since the attack.
I wear a hard contact lens that I have to take in and out every day with a suction. And with the sutures in my cornea, there's times that it's irritated and I can't put it in, and without it in, I can't see.
A San Diego attorney representing about 200 of those plaintiffs says victims should start to see the money in 2020. Tonight, allegations the San Diego Unified School District was warned about behavior of one of its teachers almost a year before he was arrested.
Juan Carlos Herrera was just sentenced for sexually and physically assaulting an underage female at San Diego High School. Our Team 10 investigator Adam Rakusin spoke to a teacher at the school who says she sounded the alarm about Herrera after a disturbing incident.
Yeah, she says that Herrera sexually harassed her. She says she had a conversation with school management about it, even sent an email reporting sexual harassment. Yet Herrera stayed in the classroom. When it involves litigation. For Vanessa Montgomery, teaching was a calling.
I love the students so much. My coworkers are amazing.
Vanessa's a special education teacher at San Diego High School. She chose that particular path because she's dyslexic.
I get to give kids a voice when they don't have one.
But despite her passion for teaching, Vanessa's time with the district has been anything but easy.
Juan Herrera and I, we were coworkers.
This is Juan Carlos Herrera, the guy in the blue outfit, a former San Diego High School teacher who pled guilty in August to 11 felonies, including lewd acts on a child and assault. Rewind about 3 years. That's when Vanessa first met Herrera. She was new on campus. Just a few months into the job, she had her first real uncomfortable encounter with Herrera.
I just want to let you know that the dress you're wearing and your outfit that you have looks really good, and it hugs your body really well.
According to a lawsuit Vanessa filed against Herrera and the San Diego Unified School District, that incident was the start of what she describes as a continuous course of sexually harassing conduct from Herrera, including weekly comments about her clothing, looks, and body.
Very uncomfortable, all the time.
Eventually, words escalated to touching. Vanessa described to me a situation where she'd spilled coffee on her shirt. The exact spot was on her breast.
He had a toothpick in his mouth, and he took the toothpick out and touched me where the spot was. And then I don't know, I'm crying, I don't know. Anyways, and he took it out and then put it back in his mouth, and he winked at me, smiled, and walked away.
Humiliated, she took her concerns to her supervisor, the school vice principal. Vanessa says she had a face-to-face conversation. She also sent this email. In it, she wrote, "I've decided to report sexual harassment against Herrera." In that email, she also detailed interactions she witnessed between Herrera and female students, saying Herrera always has a group of young girls around him. He pulls them out of class to offer support, which makes me wonder what he said to them. He is normally in a classroom with the girls and without another teacher.
He'd be working with groups of girls in classrooms alone with the door closed.
You witnessed that?
I witnessed it multiple times.
That email was sent in May of 2018, almost a year before Herrera was arrested.
The HR office had no documents related to complaints that were made by Miss Montgomery, and they had no intention of investigating any of those complaints.
Andrew Hillier is Vanessa's lawyer.
The allegation is sexual harassment, of course, but it's also a failure on the part of the district to step in once they became aware of the harassment.
Vanessa says the harassment stopped when Herrera was arrested. A spokesperson for the school district didn't answer any of our questions about Vanessa's allegations. Instead, responded with a statement saying the district does not comment on pending litigation. Herrera was sentenced to 10 years behind bars, but not a day goes by Vanessa doesn't feel like this.
I feel really guilty, and I wish I would have done more. I feel so bad for the little girl.
And Vanessa still teaches with the district. Her lawsuit was filed last week, and the school district has yet to file a response. I called the jail to try to talk to Herrera about the lawsuit, but he declined our interview request. Adam Rakusin, Team 10.